and welcome back to my channel. In this video today we're going to be working on this chunky autumn ombre scarf. It's a really simple sedge stitch scarf but mixed with a really nice chunky ombre yarn. I think it gives it real impact and it makes it look anything but simple. It's super easy to do. It's really quick, it builds really quickly. We've put these gorgeous tassels on the end as well that just makes it look amazing. Brilliant for a beginner, and you'll have it done in no time. So let's get started. Okay, so I have my yarn here. It's a nice ombre yarn. This one is from Hayfield. It's Hayfield Spirit Chunky. It's a blend of 80% acrylic and 20% wool, and it's a 6.5mm. So I've got my 6.5mm crochet hook. You can of course use any yarn that you want. Chunky yarns are brilliant for these scarves because they're just so nice and snuggly, but bear in mind that if your yarn is a different size to this one, you may have to chain more to begin with. So talking of chaining, let's get started on our beginning chain. So for my scarf, using this 6.5mm yarn and a 6.5mm crochet hook, I'm going to start off by chaining 29. If you're using a smaller yarn, you'll probably have to chain a few more, but that's absolutely fine. Just go up in multiples of 3s, and that can also apply to if you wanted to do something like a blanket as well. This stitch makes really good blanket, so just go up in a multiple of 3. Okay, so I'm going to start with my chain of 29, so that's a multiple of 3 plus 2. So I'm just going to do a slip knot and then chain 29. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we have our chain of 29 stitches, or whatever it is that you're what you've chained. So this is going to be a 1 stitch repeat, and it's a simple traditional sedge stitch. So a sedge stitch is made up of 3 stitches all into the same stitch. So we're going to do a UK double crochet, a UK half treble crochet, and a UK treble crochet all into the same stitch, and we're just going to repeat that all the way along. I'll put a US conversion on the screen as well, just in case you're watching from over in the US. So to begin with, we're going to start in the second chain from the hook, so not the first one here but the second chain, and we're going to work those 3 stitches. So we're going to do a double crochet to begin with, so insert hook into that second chain from the end. We're going to pull up a loop. We've got 2 loops on our hook, yarn over and pull through 2. So that's our UK double crochet. We're then going to work a UK half treble into that very same stitch. So we're going to yarn over, insert hook into the same stitch, pull up a loop. We've got 3 loops on hook, yarn over and pull through all 3. So that's our half treble. We're then going to work a treble into the same stitch. So we're going to yarn over into the same stitch, pull up a loop, pull up, yarn over, pull through 2, and then yarn over, pull through 2. So we've worked a double crochet, a half treble and a treble all into the same stitch, and that's what we're going to do all the way along. But we're going to skip 2 chains in between. So we're going to skip this one here, and work into the 3rd one and do exactly the same again. So we've got our UK double crochet, our UK half treble crochet, and lastly our treble crochet, all into the very same stitch, like so. And we're going to continue doing that all the way along until we get to the last 3 chain stitches. So skipping 2 chains, 1, 2, double crochet, half treble crochet, and treble crochet. And keep your tension quite loose, don't want it too tight, want this to be nice and chunky, so we don't want to be too tight, and just work your way along, just repeating that sequence. So skip 2 and double, half treble, and treble. So all the way along until the final 3 chains. Okay, so we're now at the end of the row and we've got 3 chains left. So to finish off this row, we're just going to work a double crochet into the very end chain. So UK double crochet, and that's our first row complete. So if you have chained 29, you should have a total amount of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 sets of stitches. Obviously, if you've chained more, you will have more. But that's the end of row 1. What we're going to do now is turn our work. And we're going to always start off the row by chaining 1. And this is not going to count as a stitch. So we've chained 1 and we're going to do exactly the same repeat pattern all the way along, but this time we're going to work into each of the double crochets. So this is our first double crochet that we did, and we're going to work exactly the same pattern again. So we're going to do 1 double crochet followed by a half treble, all into this same stitch, and finally our treble, all into that very first double crochet that we did from the previous round. We're then going to find the next double crochet we did, so we're going to skip. If you turn your work here, you can see this is the top of your treble, this is the top of the half treble that we did, and this one along here, this is the top of the double crochet that we did, and these are what we're going to work the stitches into. So we're going to do our double crochet into there, we're going to do our half treble crochet into there, and finally our treble into that very same stitch. So that again, so we're going to skip the treble, skip the half treble, and this one here, this is our double crochet from the previous row, and this is what we want to find. So double crochet, half treble crochet, and a treble. And we're going to continue this all the way along. So skip this one, 1, 2, this is our double crochet here, a double crochet, half treble, and treble. You can already see how quickly it's building, and using that ombre yarn is already starting to look amazing. Okay, so we're going to skip this one, this third one along is our double crochet, that's the one that we want. And again, skip this one, find your double crochet, and you're going to work that double crochet, half treble, and treble. So we'll keep going right along till the end. Okay, we're at the end now, so the final one that we're going to do is we're going to skip the 2 stitches as normal, and we're going to find that first double crochet. So it's a little bit on the end, so just make sure you skip 1, 2 and do your double crochet right in the end here into that double. So we're going to do the final double crochet here, and then we're going to turn our work, chain 1 to start with, this does not count as a stitch, and we're going to do exactly the same again. So working your first double crochet here, and we're going to work the same sequence, 1 double crochet, 1 half treble, and 1 treble all the way along. Just keep on going until you have the desired length. If you're using more than one ball of yarn, I'll show you what to do when it's time to just add a new ball of yarn in, just an easy way, which I like to do. So we'll see you when it's time to change your ball. Okay, so my scarf is growing nicely now. It's took no time at all to get here. You'll soon see that this stitch just builds so quickly, but I'm at the end of the ball now, so I just wanted to show you how I change easily into another ball of yarn. So what I tend to do is at the point where I'm just about to do my double crochet into the next stitch, let's see where we've got here. This one needs a treble. I'm just going to work that treble into there, and I'm just about to move over to the next stitch, so I'm going to start to work my double crochet, but instead of finishing my double crochet with this old yarn, I'm just going to get my new yarn and I'm going to actually finish the double crochet with my new yarn, literally just like so. Then you can pull these tight and pull it in, and then just continue your work along. And then at the end you can stitch all of these in. Here we are. I'm going to work my treble, half treble, sorry, and then my treble, and then we can just continue along. That's just the way I like to add a new yarn. You can do it any way that you want. That's the easiest way I find. And then at the end we can just weave all of these in. Okay, so I've just about finished my scarf now. I did about 112 rows in the end, but given how big your yarn is will really depend on how many rows you need to do for your scarf. But this scarf measures approximately 23 centimeters wide, and I did it to 130 centimeters long. But it's completely up to you. You could do yours a little bit shorter and stitch the ends together to make an infinity scarf. So just by stitching these ends, can't find the end now, there we go, just by stitching the ends together you could make it into more of an infinity scarf if you'd like to. I'm going to add tassels to the end of mine because I just love tassels on the end of scarves. They look really, really good, so that's what I'm going to do, but that's completely optional. It's completely up to you. But we do need to weave in all of these ends first, so neatly weave these ends in just back and forwards on each other, just so that they don't come undone. And then next we will look at doing the tassels. Okay, so I've just about woven in all my ends now. This is the last one, and so I'll just show you how I do it. So you just really want to weave them in and back on themselves a good few times so that they don't come undone. So I like to go back and forth and get in that stitch really tight. Just really back and forth on itself a good few times. And there we go, and then that will hold, and then we can cut it nice and close. So next one is the tassels, so we'll move on to there and we'll show you how to do that. Right, so tassels. So to make my tassels, I want a really big mixture of colours. So I'm actually going to cut all of my tassels all at once, and I'm going to put 10 tassels in each side, because the part that I'm going to use, actually, if you look at the end of your scarf, you can see these gaps here. So I'm going to put one on the end, and then I'm going to put one in each of these gaps just here, all the way along. And then at the other side, the other end, I'm going to put one each on the end, and then one into each of the double crochets just underneath, just here, and then we'll have 10 tassels equally spaced at each end. Okay, so the way I like to make my tassels is just by grabbing something to wrap my yarn around, which is basically the length that I want each tassel to be. So you can use anything you want, you know, a card, a mobile phone, a CD, something like that, anything like that, just to wrap around. And all I'm going to do is grab it here and literally just wrap all the way around and keep wrapping until I have enough tassels. So I'm going to need 4 of these for each one. So I'm roughly going to need about 80 times wrapped around. So I'm just going to wrap all the way around, and then we'll move on to adding our tassels to our scarf. Okay, so I've wrapped all my yarn around my book, so I've got a nice mixture because I want my tassels to be a mixture of colours. And now I'm just going to carefully just snip along right the way along the bottom. Okay, so once you've got all your tassels, you can grab yourself 4. I'm going to grab 4 strands, so they're going to make 8 strands in total because they're going to be on half. So once you've got your 4 strands, you're going to grab a crochet hook, and then you're going to have already placed one here. My next one's just going to go in this little space here, so I'm just going to insert my crochet hook, and about halfway down I'm just going to pull these through. And then once I can get my fingers in there, I'm just going to grab the rest of them and pull them through like so, and then just pull them nice and tight like that. And we're just going to work our way all the way along until we have it full up, and then we can trim the ends. I'm just about to insert my final tassel into here. Pull that tight. So these just need trimming up. So I've already done the other ends, so I'm just going to put them together so that we can trim them up to be the same length. We don't want them to be uneven. So just match them up together. Well, that's our completed scarf. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to hit like and consider subscribing to my channel, and I will hopefully see you on the next video. Thanks for watching and happy crochet.